Okay, hello. Today, Monday, the 4th of July, actually. Wow, what a day! It's been 1 week today that we got here to the house at the lake where Brie's family gets together. Yeah, of course, after staying 1 week with the family, a lot of stuff coming up, lots of transformation possibilities, opportunities, growth, expansion, challenges. And today I invited Gianna, my daughter, that also I just reunited with for the first time in many months, who lives in the States, in Madison, and Brie. And I invited them out to the raft here in the middle of the lake. And I just wanted to give you a little tour around it. So I'll see if we cannot. So I'm just gonna, well, I could do it this way. Huh? I'm just gonna blend away from me. So, and that's the dock on the lake, and then we'll just go around the lake, and it's a beautiful lake. I love it. There's a house on the lake that I helped building a few years ago, 2010. And the lake is, nobody's really around here, huh? So we got the lake to ourselves. It's very clear, it's deep, it's beautiful. Like swimming in it is blissful. The whole family likes to just swim around the lake, spending a lot of time in the water. And today I chose this place to have the talk with Brie and Gianna. And when they come out here, I took the kayak, they'll take the skiff. Then I think I will suggest talking about, yeah, what happens when family gets together, when they live apart and they come together. I'm sure every one of you guys has experience with that. You know, either it's oftentimes maybe pretty just in the beginning when you're just all happy to see each other, but then stuff starts coming up, and it can get ugly at times too. It hasn't done that here, but definitely stuff comes up, and I just want to talk to them about it. So next thing is, I'll get them over here, and then we start talking. Yeah. I got you coming.
Hi.
So there it is, my talk partners for the day. Gigi Leonard, 18 years old, living in Madison, living the dream of working for the man, paying taxes and making minimum wage. Yes. Brie, yeah, hanging out here at the lake with the big family, cousins, parents, kids, nieces, nephews.
Grandkids.
Exciting stuff. Grandkids?
Not of yours.
I hope not.
Nice.
Not that I know of, but
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
well, we can talk about that now, yeah? All right, you come out, we'll have a talk now. We'll cut it right here.
This and
Right here. So, there's Brie coming right next to me, and she's
Hi.
getting a little nervous here. Gianna, do you want to come next to Brie?
it's hot.
Yeah, take off.
The sun is
Close, yeah.
burning my skin though, so I'm kind of protecting.
We're
Wow.
gonna tip down here. It's so one-sided.
Ah, cool. So now we get a better view of the lake. That's great.
Okay, lean back a little bit here.
Say hello,
Hi.
checking in. I already
Hello.
introduced, that we came back a week ago from Bali, meeting up with family. And actually, I was going to propose as the topic for the talk is visiting family, and what happens when you visit family. All kinds of old stuff comes up, good, bad, interesting, challenging. So Brie was already starting to share a little bit about that.
What I was sharing is that I guess there's always something to be doing when we're at the cabin and with the family, because there's a lot of prep around food and cleanup, and now is the day that everyone's kind of packing up, and so there's a lot more to do, and these are usually the moments that Bjorn chooses to go off and do a video. And I've decided to come along, and it's been a little struggle for me because I know that the expectation is, or I feel that the expectation is that, yeah, people like to get things cleaned up first and then relax relax if it ever gets cleaned up all the way.
Which
So it would be
doesn't.
like clean the toilets and do all of that, and then just sit back and relax a bit. And in the meantime, I'm gonna just slide out of there and relax while the other people are cleaning.
I hope
So,
you're not getting too relaxed here.
I'm
talking,
not
huh?
gonna
You
get
should
too
be a little
relaxed. So this
tense.
is hard work.
There's expectations
yeah,
also.
I know.
So
So
get away from it.
I felt the need to be really clear, like you guys can leave all of this for us, and when we're done, we can come clean up and do toilets and floors and da-da-da. Just so that they know, but I have the feeling, which may just be my own, that there's still probably a little like, you're gonna go, but it may be totally wrong.
Well, I think there's no right or wrong. There's just probably they have their perceptions, and maybe they have expectations, maybe they don't. And then what do I do with it? Huh? Do I take that pressure, or do I just clearly state, oh, this is where my energy goes right now? And like you
Right.
said, yeah, you leave that stuff if you want to, and they might just do it and hold a grudge, and then that's not really your
And they
deal.
might
Yeah,
just do it and not hold a grudge. It might just be
exactly.
really my idea of how things are. It could be that, yeah, it's all good.
It is.
I mean,
It
it
is.
is. It could be that it's even all good in their minds.
Yeah, maybe I feel like just now I realized by us holding the space for possible tension of expectations not met, by us engaging with that, we actually enable it. Because if we don't engage with that, like somebody has expectations, and we're just really good. If you have expectations right now, I'm gonna have a talk and I'll be back in an hour. Just leave everything. Then you actually give them the chance too to maybe release some of their tension, no? And maybe you give them a chance to get even deeper into the tension and experience how that feels when you get really upset about
Maybe you give them a chance to
slackers.
not do the cleaning for a little while and
Yeah.
just even wait until
And just let the
everybody's
mess be
there.
there.
Yeah, just relax.
The mess is not, running away or getting bigger or smaller. You just leave it there.
Actually, while we're gone, we at least don't mess it up more. That's we got that going for us. I want to say about the timing of the talks is that we've been here for a week, and this is the last day, and I really wanted to have a talk on the lake, and I mentioned that, and it isn't happening. So at some point, then I say, well, we're talking now, so it's happening, and I think any moment of this 1 week would have been a bad moment, because there's certain expectations not met. If you sneak away, and that's part of what we're encountering here with family dynamics, and that's very interesting. That we, or for sure Brie, but also I can sense the expectations.
I can too.
Of how things have to be done. Huh?
They should be done.
Yeah.
There's
Maybe you can
rules.
share too, Brie.
Yeah.
What's your name again? Gianna?
Nice.
And you can actually move forward too. You're always in the background. Why would you like to be in the background?
It's more comfy back here.
Okay.
I like it back here.
All right.
Back here
And
too.
I'm in the foreground.
Don't fall off. Let's see.
No, I feel like even something as simple as the compost, I know that there's rules to it. Sometimes I don't remember all of them. That doesn't bother me, but it bothers some other people. So there's a rule.
Don't take
About
it
that.
personally, Mom and Dad.
No, I'm not saying it's ridiculous. I'm just saying I don't understand it. Some simple things like that. That's interesting to me. I'm just like always wondering about that and like puzzling over it. All the rules.
Yeah, the beauty about hanging out tight quarters with the family is that this stuff comes up, and to me, this is actually a good thing. And maybe not in a few years ago, I would have probably been bothered, but now I feel like how cool, like to feel all this agitation come up in the proximity. I mean, there's a lot of. Disclaimer, there's a lot of love going. It's
Yeah,
a beautiful
so much.
family, and we love each other, and we really care for each other, and I think it's like an exceptional family dynamic in terms of how smooth it runs. But there is also stuff coming up.
Well, that's another thing about the rules is that it actually, I think because everyone knows the rules and respects the rules, all these little ones, it kind of makes less bumps. So everyone's like, oh, I just know that this is the right way to do it. And then everyone does it the same. And it's like, oh, smooth Smooth running.
I wanted to add that's a good thing, is that there is clarity. Like, yeah, you know
Everyone
how they want
knows.
the watermelon cut up, and that's great.
Yeah.
Because if you're not clear, it's when things aren't spoken that things can get tricky or difficult. And and that's still okay too, because sometimes things aren't spoken not because actually they're not spoken, but because we think they're not spoken. It can also be our perception of what someone else feels or thinks. So until it's out in the air, nothing's really clear.
Yeah.
And that's my job equally as it is anyone else's job, to talk about, like, oh, this is what I'm feeling right now, or you know.
Yeah, that's
Or
a
let it go.
very good point. I like that, yeah, because the open rules you can puzzle and wonder about, but sort of accept them because it's Brie's parents' house, so they can make the rules. You know, that's their space. They say this is the temple, and that's what they want, and that's what they don't want. But it gets tricky when things are not communicated straight and clear and transparent, which totally happens in any kind of relationship. But they are great teachers, you know. Then for me also to see, maybe I don't understand, but there's no right or wrong. It's just like different approaches how to express your life energy, and you can either take it personal and get all upset, or you can say it's all their problem, or you can say, oh, it's just different. Oh, look at this. You can do it this way, but I actually choose for myself to do it differently. And as soon as we leave,
And I
then
can
we
do it this way when I'm in someone else's space. And yeah, it's all about dancing in the flow.
And the stuckness at times too, even. Try to dance in the stuckness, yeah. Do the sausage dance.
What?
You know them? We do this here.
Kenny Blumenfeld
Hey, Kenny.
taught us the sausage dance.
Yeah, next time I'll invite you, and then we'll get you to show to Gianna. You don't remember, huh?
I remember hearing it, but I don't know where it came from.
You just dance with your arms down by your side like a sausage, and you kind of jump around and wiggle while you jump. It's pretty cute. We'll ask
Important.
Kenny to do it for you one day.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone? Any other like feelings right now they want to share?
Yeah, I
Perceptions?
do. I want to say that it's been so amazing and beautiful to be here too. Like, it's always really beautiful to be with my family for me. And then there are always those moments that are, you know, just the quarters are too tight, or there's too much noise for somebody, or all of us, you know.
Side note, it's really like pretty much a one-room house
Yeah,
with
15
2 1-year-old babies and then 5, 6, 7-year-old, and then a couple teenagers, and then a bunch of adults, all on the same. So, just disclaimer.
Yeah, like 1,200. It's maybe 1,200 square foot. There's one bedroom, and the rest is open, and we're all sleeping in
Mika
that
and
space.
Chief get dibs
working
on the
in
bedroom, of course.
They get the bedroom with the door.
Everyone else
So-
just kind of makes beds wherever they can.
And they've made beautiful beds all over,
Yeah,
so there's a lot of room.
Nice mattresses, and you just have to like decide who's gonna sleep with whom. You know?
Don't you have to do that anyways, you know?
It's kind of like musical chairs. It's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that it's super sweet to be here always, but there is, with that many people, always going to be a little like, could use some space, or oh, there's this disagreement which naturally comes up, but I felt really a lot less of it this time, and I think it really has a lot to do with me. For me, I have less and less. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. What to do with you too?
It has a lot to do with me just having dropped a lot of my expectations and even certain hopes, and just letting it just be a flow. And it turns out that the things that I love and really want here are happening anyway. It's really beautiful to sit with my kids and husband and siblings and all of those people, and feel pretty much at peace most of the time, even at the moments when I'm feeling a little bit judged, which has only happened 2 or 3 times, and I can sit back and go, oh, this really isn't me being judged. This is us just being in like communication and sharing things about ourselves, and it doesn't always line up. That's all.
And you have the, and you feel like, I guess that's the difference. You feel now the power that you're not the victim of it,
Yeah.
of like misunderstandings and people having expectations. You're the victim, you cannot do anything, and then it gets stuck. But you realize, oh, you can do something about it. You can like accept how it is, for example.
Right.
Huh? Yeah.
That's really nice.
So you're stepping more and more into your power. I hear, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And that's it, for that matter, it's getting together as a family. You can also then practice and integrate what you've been sort of studying, huh? Like
Yeah.
in Bali.
And with stepping more and more into my power, I have less and less expectation that anything will be difficult. And with that, less is difficult. I mean, I'm not holding anybody in, well, less anyway, in a contract to create certain opportunities for me. There's less of that going on. Like, if I can explain, like the expectation that, like, I have the feeling that my brother isn't so comfortable with what I'm doing, and then I realized before coming here, that's okay, and maybe he is comfortable with what I'm doing. We just haven't talked much about it, and I can totally appreciate and love where he's at and what he's doing with his life, and because he's doing what he wants to do, and it's awesome. And with that, I can remember that I can just really appreciate and love where I'm at, and let go of the expectation that somebody else is going to question me hardcore or tell me that I'm wrong or things should be a certain way. And by letting that go, it doesn't really even have to happen.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's pretty much hits whatever.
The nail on the head.
The
Because I'm
nail
not
on the head.
asking for it. I'm like, otherwise energetically I'm asking for it, and someone has to stand up and say, shit, I guess I'll be the one to tell you you're not doing this right, and then so that I can work through it. It's really quite a fancy little agreement.
And then again, also, I'm not talking about family dynamics here. And I sort of mentioned that before because it's not working. But I think that's any kind of relationship, and especially when there's a relationship, one-on-one is one thing, but then relationship like with 10, 15, 20 people, that gets even more tricky. And so any kind of family gathering anywhere in the world brings up stuff. It's like, and if it doesn't, then there's something majorly stuck in the family.
Unless, I mean, if it doesn't, it depends on who it doesn't bring stuff up for, but if it doesn't, it might mean that you're feeling really totally secure where you are, and then maybe stuff doesn't have to come up anymore.
1 in a million will not experience that.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying
Right.
it is a possibility, right?
You're
There
right.
are those
Yeah.
people who have come to the place where what comes up is fine. Fine.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. What comes up is fine. It's what comes up.